Oh my god, guys. So we totally just hit 200 subs. This is freaking awesome. I'm like so, so happy. So, as for a request, we are going to check out my Dreamcast collection today. So let's get into it. So like I said, one of the members on my channel won Vanica N, and you can see that comment here. Did that work? We'll find out. Anyway, requested that, hey, do you have any Dreamcast stuff, and would you show it off? So when I hit 100 subs, I did my working designs shelf as a request from one of you beautiful folk, and who am I to deny what's asked of me? So today we're going to go over my Dreamcast collection. It may not be like huge, but some good quality. So without further ado, let's check out the shelf and my games and just start going at it. So my Dreamcast shelf is not very large, like I said, but I have this cool case that I kind of custom made using a Laserline CD case and a Dreamcast decal. Taking that, open it up, and I have all of my Dreamcast games like such, except for the ones up there, of course. And this case is really cool because these Laserline cases, you kind of push it sideways, the game pops out, you pull it out, good to go. So that being said, let's go through and I will show you all the games I have, as well as some of my cool, rarer controllers and VMUs. So I thought my collection was very kind of small until I pulled everything out. And, well, I'm not saying it's large, but I have a lot more than I thought I had. Let's just go ahead and start with some of the easy stuff. 3 plain white controllers. You know, everyone should have a bunch of these. Generic memory card in this one, not a VMU. And I have a sports Dreamcast. This is not the one I play on. In fact, currently the eye actually is not reading discs for me. I don't know why. That being said, this was a Frankenstein Dreamcast. I actually got it for free. It didn't work when I got it, and but there was the controller ports. And at the Game Exchange that I went and got this from, they just gave it to me. They had another broken one, swapped out the ports, and boom, it worked. So this thing is not working now, though, like I said. So I don't know, I gotta figure that out. I look up the eye repair. But I do have its matching controller. And in this one I have a Game Shark to kind of keep the aesthetic. Anywho, now the cooler controllers. Everyone knows that they have the cool, kind of transparent, kind of like the Nintendo 64s did. So I have a transparent blue with 2 matching memory cards to go with it. These are VMUs, of course. I have a transparent red, which is my second favorite out of all mine, with a couple of transparent red memory cards to go with it. I have a transparent green with a transparent green memory card, just one of those. And last but not least, with the standard controllers, transparent smoke, my absolute favorite one, and the smoke memory card. I know there are some rarer ones out there, of course. The yellow is a hard to find one. I would really like the yellow one. Pink, there's a couple other weird variants. So it'd be cool to get those one day, but to be honest, I haven't really gone after them. But, you know, what are you gonna do? I also have a complete in box regular controller that I actually got from a friend of mine. I have so many controllers I had no need to open it, so I figured, I'll just leave it in the box, why not? And maybe my favorite controller? I don't know. The fishing rod. This is gonna sound silly because I'm not big into sports games, but the Sega fishing games, especially marine fishing, I could just pop that game in and just listen to the music. I don't know if you have ever listened to the soundtrack of that, but you should. And if you have, tell me what you think about it. Tell me if, am I crazy? I mean, personally, I'm a huge Sega music fan, and God, those games are just so relaxing. But anyway, like I said, Dreamcast fishing rod, pretty cool. And now my last controller I had to import this one. I have the official Dreamcast Fight Stick, and I have a regular VMU in here to match. But yeah, this thing, it's awesome. Has the clicky stick, Give it. Yeah. And man, so the Dreamcast is known for its fighters, and this thing is amazing. I'm so glad I have this. Speaking of controllers, I've already spoke about it in a news video, but I did back the Retro Fighters controller that's coming out, and when that comes in, we will be doing a review. I'll bring it up again later on as a reminder, but I'm going to show you all my games, and I have a few games I want to test that controller with, but if anything here jumps out to you, please let me know in the comments, because I'm going to test that controller with games, and if you're like, hey, I want to see this game, let me know, because I'll test it with that one, see how it feels. That being said, let's jump into the games. So I have, these stacks are the ones that were in my case. Now that case that I showed you, that's where I put either games I really enjoyed or maybe were worth a little bit more, or that could fit. The double stack cases don't fit. So they're in ABC order. So I'm going to start with the ones that I had on top of the case. These ones either didn't make the cut or couldn't fit because it's a double case. So don't don't judge. But first off, Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. You know, pretty cool shooter game if you've heard about it. I mean, you haven't not heard about it. Virtua Tennis. This is a good one. I'm not gonna lie. But I have some over here that I think are better. So take that what you will. This one was a hard one to exclude from the case, and that is Time Stalkers. One of the few RPGs that I really enjoyed on the system. And I think the reason this wasn't in that case is because I had actually had it. The case was already full when I got it. One of those things. Because that same mindset goes for Space Channel 5. Another really fun, cool game, rhythm game. Really neat. It's one of those games where it's like you just kind of got to play it. I do believe they re-released this on the Xbox 360 with that Dreamcast Collection, so definitely check that out. Now this is a game that didn't make the case only because it's a thick boy, and that is Shenmue. Now, you know, with the resurgence of Shenmue, they did the HD re-release of 1 and 2, and they also, of course, just came out with 3. So, Shenmue, classic. These two games I'm going to put side to side. Like I said, they didn't make the box only because I pretty much like them mainly for the music, but they are great games, and that is Sega Bass Fishing and Sega Marine Fishing. They're great, and they're cheap. You can get both of these games for probably $3 for both of them, I would imagine. I mean, I don't know, that's what I paid for them. Definitely awesome. This is another one that is too big to fit in the box. I would have put this in the box. I would take out 2 games to make this one fit, but it won't fit. And that's Grandia 2. Grandia 2 is awesome. I have an awesome story with this game too. I went and I bought this from a guy who had like a warehouse of like weird games. Except for, he had this game loose, just the 2 discs. He had, it's 1 disc, the book, and the soundtrack. But the weird thing is he had the book and he had all the art, just no case. And so he sold it to me for the loose price, which at the time was like $15. When complete, it was still very expensive. So I came back and I bought some double case game driver or something, and I, made the case for it, and thus completed my copy. So that's pretty awesome. The last game that didn't make the cut into the cream of the crop is the Atari Anniversary Collection. I like these collection games. I really like that foily sheen. But once again, it's a cool game, but it's not like what you're all about. Before I get into the main games, I do want to note that I have a Japanese copy of Sonic Adventure 1. I don't know why. I don't remember where I got this from. But I can't play it, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, so back on to the main games. Before I get to that, I totally forgot I had these 2 here. I have these 2 weird VMUs. It's a Godzilla one and some weird Japanese games special limited edition wood grain one. I forgot, I got these on eBay in a lot. Thought they were kind of neat. I've actually never used them, but I just didn't want to change out the batteries. Anywho, time for the cream of the crop games. These are going to be in alphabetical order, unless I am stupid. But, starting out with Cannon Spike. If you have not played Cannon Spike, you need to play Cannon Spike. It's like a top-down kind of isometric shooter with all sorts of Capcom characters. Notably, Charlie and like a really crazy mecha version of King Arthur. It's an awesome game. Definitely worth checking out. It's kind of pricey, so if you can get it, awesome. Of course, you couldn't have a collection without Crazy Taxi and Crazy Taxi 2. Two awesome games, two awesome soundtracks. I mean, you know, no-brainers. No-brainers for the cream of the crop stack. This is another cool RPG. Elemental Gimmick Gear. It's kind of a weird game if you've never played it. It's kind of almost like an action RPG. It's really cool, and it's just one of those really kind of overlooked hidden gem games. And you know, if you ever want me to do any reviews of any of these weird games you've probably never heard of, let me know in the comments. That being said, this is one of my favorite games ever, and one that I'm definitely going to try out with a controller, and that is Gundam Side Story 0079. This game is awesome, because when I played this for the first time, like, Gundam Mania was like in full effect here in when I was younger. I mean, Gundam was on Toonami, everyone was watching it, and it was just so cool to be able to play a game like that. And the cool thing about this game is you don't play as like the Gundam, you know what I mean? You just play as like a regular old mobile suit, like just kind of part of a squad, and gosh, this really good memories with this one. Really good memories with that one. Now, this is the predecessor to one of my favorite games of all time. That is Jet Grind Radio. Now, Jet Set Radio Future is one of my hands down favorite games I've ever played in my life. Jet Grind Radio is good, but they definitely polished it up for Jet Set Radio Future. That being said, talk about good soundtracks. This game is so good, I got the soundtrack for it. I have it up there actually, but it's the Japanese version of the soundtrack. Doesn't matter because they're the same. Awesome game. Now, oh man, one of the best fighters. Maybe not the best fighter, but one of the best fighters on Dreamcast. That is The Last Blade 2. If you have not played The Last Blade 2, you have done yourself a disservice. This game is beautiful. It's SNK. I'm obviously a huge SNK Neo Geo fan. God, this game is so pretty and so fun, and especially with the fight stick, it is amazing to play. And the last game in the first stack is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Now, this game is really cool. It's like an action, just an action game. I actually got my first dip into this series with Blood Omen 2, Legacy of Kain on the Xbox. It's actually one of my first Xbox games. I got that in Halo. So I actually went backwards to play this one, and it was really cool to kind of tie in some of that story. Now, continuing on. Like I said, this is the cream of the crop here. I'm going to show both these off at the same time, and that is Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. You can't beat these games. I mean, come on. You know that classic, "Gonna take you for a ride." I mean, you hear that, you know exactly what's going on. Marvel vs. Capcom 1 was really cool, especially because you could unlock those secret characters. Granted, they were palette swaps, but they also kind of had different abilities, which is really neat. And then, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I mean, was like 1 bajillion characters. I don't even know. Oh, sorry. An unprecedented 56 playable characters. And, yeah, all awesome. All awesome. I am excited for this game series. Phantasy Star Online. Now, I didn't get to play online in the heyday, but I have played this game, and it's awesome. Obviously, I didn't play it online because I didn't get the Dreamcast till later. That being said, I am in the beta for Phantasy Star Online 2. With that coming up real soon, I am definitely going to be doing a review on that as far as the beta is concerned, maybe some impressions. So I'm excited, very excited. I'm going to show both these off together as well. Man, if you haven't played these games, they actually have a collection on the PSP that's far cheaper. But Power Stone 1 and 2. Now, say what you will, I love Super Smash Brothers. I love that kind of stuff. This was my Super Smash Brothers, though. I mean, I had Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64, and that was fun. But man, at that time in my life, anyway, Power Stone was the way to go. I mean, especially Power Stone 2, like it introduced bosses and stuff. Oh, so good. So good. These games are fan-friggin-tastic. And, you know, a spiritual successor wouldn't be too bad, Sega. Should jump on that. Anyway, another kind of weird fighting game. You know what? I don't really know why this is in the cream of the crop case. I mean, it's not bad, but either way. Psychic Force 2012. This took place 8 years ago, if believe it or not, in the far-off land of 2012. It's just like a weird 3D fighter, kind of like Evil Zone. Have you ever played Evil Zone on the PS1? Maybe that's a weird reference. I don't know. If you like Diablo, you will love Record of Lodoss War. It's also actually based on the roughly on the anime of the same name. It might have been a manga too, I don't know. But it plays like Diablo, kind of the top-down isometric game. It is really good. Really good game. I definitely recommend playing this if you haven't. Last time I checked, it was still pretty reasonable. So hopefully it still is as of making this video. Skies of Arcadia. Yeah, if you're an RPG fan, you have to play Skies of Arcadia. There's ups and downs with this game. Now, this game is very grindy, very, very grindy, and also has a little bit of playability issues on the Dreamcast in comparison to the GameCube version. However, the huge advantage of the Dreamcast version is the sound and music are exponentially better. So, take that what you will. I prefer the Dreamcast version, but it's not like I hate the GameCube version. In fact, I like the GameCube version. This is the one that I played first, and this is the one that I think sounds better. Now, last stack. These two are some of my favorite games of all time. If you watched my most recent news video talking about the year of Sonic, you'll know that I'm praying to God for Sonic Adventure 3. And that's Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Sonic Adventure 1... See, here's why I want Sonic Adventure 3. I want the overworld of Sonic Adventure 1, like the kind of hub world where you can walk around and do stuff. But I want all of the cool stuff that Sonic Adventure 2 had, like the characters and the action stages felt a little better, the robot stuff. Definitely needs a Chow Garden. And one thing that's cool about both of these games is if you have that bootleg CD, you can actually get the DLC that was only available online. In fact, I did a Halloween video, you should check it out, on playing the Halloween level from Sonic Adventure 1. So, just two of my favorite games of all time. I remember just raising Chow Garden in the Chows forever. My buddy, when I was in middle school, he was the one with the Dreamcast, and he had 2 VMUs, and we'd have my Chow that I was raising on his, it's his game, so, but it was kind of like mine, and he had his, and I'd borrow a VMU, and we'd have it all day and get in trouble in school. And that was just a really cool time in my life, for sure. This game isn't, great, but, it's a Sonic game, Sonic Shuffle. It's basically, if you, like playing, Mario Party, it's the Sonic version of Mario Party. It's cel-shaded, too, which is kind of cool. But... it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know it's Mario Party has such a high reputation that it kind of overshadows this one greatly. But it's a great 4-player game on the system. Another good fighter, Soul Calibur. I'm not big into 3D fighters as much as 2D fighters, but this is a great game. And actually, one of my good friends back in Texas, he decimates at this game. I mean, he is insane. But yeah, Soul Calibur. Now we're into my gold here. Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. I really wish I had a copy of Third Strike. That would be awesome for me. This is all I have, though, and it's good enough, man. Street Fighter 3 is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. It's still my favorite Street Fighter to this day. As far as, I don't really like 4 or 5 or any of those. When they switched to the 3D, even though it's still 2D, they lost me, which is a shame. But, oh my god, this game is, gorgeous. Of course, you can't talk Street Fighter on the Dreamcast without Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is, of course, the best version of Street Fighter Alpha. But a ton of characters, they wrap up the story. I mean, Shin Akuma, all sorts of cool stuff. Really great game, good fighter. This is a hidden gem. Sword of the Berserk Guts' Rage. It's based on Berserk, the anime and I guess manga. But this is like, man, this was like Devil May Cry-esque, you know, really cool game. It's fun. You know, the graphics are definitely of their time, but this is a great game. I highly recommend it. And last but not least, and I'm kicking myself because I had the opportunity to get the controller for the Dreamcast. I have it for the Saturn, and maybe one day I'll do a video on it. But Virtual On. This game is really cool. It's like a mech fighter game. It's kind of like an arena fighter. It's cool. It's hard to explain without just showing you. But I mean, you gotta check out Virtual On. You gotta look into it. Now, I only have one more thing left as far as my Dreamcast collection, and I'm actually going to switch it top down and do an unboxing of it. But just so you see what it is, I had to import this from Japan, by the way. This is the Sonic Adventure 2 10th Anniversary Birthday Pack Collector's Edition. It's actually, I guess, the only collector's edition game I have for the system. So that being said, let me go top down and let's unbox this thing, because you got to see what's in here. It's awesome. So like I said, this is the 10th Anniversary Sonic Adventure 2 Birthday 2 Pack. 2 days only, 6, 23, and 24, 2001. This thing is very awesome. You're about to see right now. But, so, inside, of course it's all going to be Japanese, but we have Sonic Adventure 2, the game itself, Hero in Dark, it's all in Japanese. Ooh. The original spine card, the game, 10th anniversary. I really love this inside. I like how it actually carries over to the book. One cool panoramic picture, 10th anniversary. Oh, so there's that. And then now, this part. So, when this came out, 10th anniversary, came with a Happy Birthday Sonic. It might be hard to see, but Happy Birthday Sonic, Sonic History. It's basically like a CD with a bunch of stuff on it. And it has here all the games when they came out and all that. Open up one more time. You have this cool commemorative coin. Can't get that out. Eugh. I'm done failing getting that coin out. But it has this cool kind of embossed book. It's hard to tell, but you can see that. But yeah, what's up? Boom! Happy birthday! So it's just cool. It kind of has the history of Sonic. I mean, of course, it's all in Japanese, but it is really cool. It just has the full history, the timeline of all the games, all the stuff. If you actually noticed, I have all those toys. If you go back in the video, on top of my my little Dreamcast thing. But yeah, here's a bunch of cool Sonic goods. I wish I had some of the stuff now. Like that jacket would be awesome. And yeah, Sonic still goes on evolving. Happy birthday. So, like I said, this is a really awesome thing to get. And when I saw that it was available, when I learned about it, I immediately kind of tried my best to get one. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my Dreamcast collection. So that's pretty much it for my Dreamcast collection. Like I said, there's some really cool stuff in there. I really love that console. I'm always looking for more though, and especially some of those cool controller variants and other different things. I really want to thank you guys again for subscribing and watching the videos and hitting like and all that. You guys are obviously why I'm making these videos. It's fun and all, but it's cool to get the interaction from you guys. And that being said, if any of those games you guys want me to try out that Retro Fighters controller with, let me know. Let me know if you want to see a review of any of those games. I definitely don't mind doing that. But as always, thanks again for everything. And, if you guys have some ideas of what you want to see of my game room for the next milestone, I guess 300, please leave that below as well. And that's going to do it for us today. As always, please subscribe if you haven't. Like, dislike, leave some comments and everything. And as always, take it easy.